It's time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Chartered accountant and public affairs analyst Olusegun Okunade and social commentator Smart Akpejoye are here in the studio with me. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
And thank God it's Friday.
Yeah. Thank God it's Friday. All right, let's begin with the first newspaper now. Buhari blows hot cold as Nigerians kick over controversial interview. You find details of the story on the pages of the first newspaper. We'll move now to the Daily Trust. Headers back. Buhari as Afenifere Ohaneze reject grazing routes recovery. Headers back. Buhari as Afenifere Ohaneze reject grazing routes recovery. We'll move to the News Direct now. Buhari directs security personnel to shoot AK-47 illegal owners. Buhari directs security personnel to shoot AK-47 illegal owners. To the Nation newspaper now, Insecurity shot on site, still in force, says Buhari. President inaugurates Lagos-Ibadan rail, Sanwo-Olu security equipment. A maritime security project takes off. Lagos mention not reference to Tinubu. We move now to the Vanguard newspaper. Outrage as Buhari throws headers crisis back at governors. Settle headers crisis yourselves, Buhari tells governors. Backs open grazing, asks AGF to recover grazing routes. Says IPOB's dot in a circle will be defeated. While Southern governors called for national dialogue. Okowa, no land for grazing reserves in Yoruba land, Afenifere. All right, so we'll look at that story shortly. Well, to the Nigerian Tribune, State of the Nation, after 8 hours meeting, OBJ at Obasanjo, Abdul Salami, Oni Sultan, others to meet Buhari, Afenifere, Ohaneze Ndigbo, ACF, NLC leaders in attendance. Insecurity, our people are now afraid to visit their farms. Fayemi Erufai speaking there. We'll move now to the front page of the Daily Sun. Again, Buhari restates shoot on-site order, directs military to deal ruthlessly with criminals, illegal bearers of AK-47, vows to restore cattle routes, grazing areas. Ohaneze, Middle Belt, Masob, ADF, Huriwa, others react. To the Punch newspaper now, Buhari pushes the rotation deal to APC. Oyegun insists on zoning. Nobody should sit in Lagos and decide power rotation president. Local governments have been killed. Chairman compromised, Buhari laments. To the Leadership newspaper now, President Muhammadu Buhari ignores. Governors insists on grazing routes. And finally, on the front page of the national economy, Gulf of Guinea piracy, Nigeria moves to end $2.74 billion war risk surcharge on vessels, cargoes. All right, gentlemen, let's look at the story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, talking about the president throwing back the responsibility of dealing with the headers crisis to the governors, and it seems it's not sitting well with the governors. We would recall that the governors of the South, 17 of them had said that they were banning open grazing. They made certain decisions, and they were pushing it forward to the federal government. But then the president is saying, all of these issues that you are talking about, you as the security officer of your state have the powers to address this, or have the responsibility, let me use that word, to address this. But oftentimes what you get from the governors is that their hands are seemingly tied. They cannot just call the commissioner of police to say, see, go out, call your men together to address this issue. We can't really do anything, Sheson.
If I start from your last statement of the governor saying their hands are tight when it comes to security issue, it gives me so much worries. I'm going to take leave from Lagos as regard the RRS squad that the Lagos state government, fine, they don't have the control over the CP because the CP take instruction from the IG, but the as the CSO of the state, there are so many things in your possession that you can use to make sure that the people that elected you to lead them, you give them that succor. of saying that the reason why I'm here is to provide security for you. If the federal government has failed at the center, it is not on the plight of the state governor to fail us again. So when each time they come up and tell us that their hands are tied because they are not in control of the CP or every other thing, it baffles me. There are ways we can think outside the box
what?
To make sure that some of these things are done. In Lagos State, we have the Neighborhood Watch that gives intelligent reports to some of those people to make sure that, you see, even sensitizing people about the security apparatus in the state goes a long way. Aside that, what is the major cause of some of this insecurity we are talking about? It's because the people are not empowered economically. Businesses are failing. Everyone is running helter-skelter. People are looking for means to survive. And the only way they could resort to is to attack individual, to look at certain set of people and say, those people seems to have more than enough. If I attack them, I should be able to get something out of it. And that's why we are putting pressure on the security men. That's why we've said the government must do what is needful. What is needful is to create an enabling environment for businesses to succeed, to thrive, and to move on. Once that is done, you discover that everybody will be empowered. Our farmers cannot go to farm to do certain things. Businessmen cannot move around the street. You cannot even live your life. You've seen instances, people are now pushing away, their vehicles, going via public transport, all because they just want to prevent individuals of knowing how they are. So the first thing they must do, you see, something creating security, and that is when people are not, having that the economic power to have what they want to do, and that's where government must start from. Create the enabling environment for businesses to succeed.
State governors now.
State, yeah. It is your state, because there are certain peculiarity to states. I don't like overgeneralizing things. What works in Lagos is different from the way you address issue in Ekiti. It's different from the way you address issue. Despite that, we are saying look at what Lagos State is providing for the police force to work with. Can Ekiti do the same? The answer will definitely be no.
The governors must understand their
state, their terrain, and make sure you work out things. Enough of we saying go to the central. If what we are getting from the central is not coming, we get all the state governors got their security vote. Have they ever push it back to the federal government and say we don't want because we don't understand how to go about things? They still collect it, and that's unaccountable for. As an auditor, nobody audit security vote, because anything attached to security is just free for all. So we want a situation where the government will take the bull by the horn and knows that the reason why they are there at their state level is to make sure that the lives of everyone in the state is better off from where they take it off as a governor.
Asmat, I wonder if you are on the same side as Olusegun.
First, I will take it from the angle. It's a very good thing that the president came out and make it clear that, look, the governors are the chief security officer of their states. Go and secure your states. One, often I've said, and you can bear me witness, that I've always said that, look, the security of life and property lies solely in the hands of the locals. Who controls the local? The state and the local governments. Now, if we are looking about the state, and also you probably do benchmarking also to probably get a good result. We take Lagos State and Oyo. Let me take Lagos and Oyo State. When Makinde came in, he bought so many vehicles for the police, created an outfit that they now have their boundaries at all the major inlet, all the major entry into the state. To a large extent, it has reduced crime in Oyo State.
Has it?
Yes, it has. However, is that enough? Again, we have a state whereby sometimes the governors will get security reports. They don't make good use of it all the time.
Like the last one that happened
like the governor, it was very clear that there were enough security reports that any moment from now, this Igogon will be attacked. It was very clear. Even the head of whatever, Togun said it that, look, that there are so many bandits within the territory of Oyo State. So when you had that, what did you do? Again, I will also talk about security again as it concerns community. Now, let me take the Otedola estate that is very close here. If you want to go in, you'll be stopped. Where are you going? Whom do you want to see? Call the person, let the person call us, and they will allow you in. I'm not aware that the police have recorded any major robbery or kidnapping or whatever crime, violent crime within that estate.
That's an estate. That's an estate.
So if we can prevent an estate, equally again, in my own estate, probably at about 11, 12, you will see security men going about, blowing whistle, announcing their presence. The criminals want to commit crime that at every point in time when they commit the crime, they can get away. They don't want to be intercepted. They don't want to be attacked. The moment they are coming and they find out that somebody is blowing a whistle and people are beginning to raise alarm, they will run back. That area is not secure. All this could be done with the collaboration of the local government and the state government. But today, local government does not exist. It only exists in paper.
I was going to ask how
local government does not exist. It only exists in paper. But however, the states are not doing enough. Now, the good thing again, people talk about Lagos, that Lagos is relatively secure. Yes, to an extent.
Oh, we've been hearing issues.
But again, Lagos cannot be totally secured. Right. We must get that. But Lagos can be relatively secured. Are they doing enough? No. What they should have done is that there is always this report. There are flashpoints starting from Iyanoworo on the bridge of Akpogbon, on the Ikorodu Garage, Mile 12, K2, Mile 2, Satellite Town. All those axes to Badagry is always very volatile. All the Egbeda axis is always volatile. What can we do? Local security will solve this problem. If they are ready to do it, you don't have to wait for Buhari. Buhari have said they go. And again, if you find out that most of this, there is a situation, so one boy during the political era is always there for all these politicians. The state declared him wanted. They got him arrested. They took him to court. 1 month later, the guy was released. And he went about boasting that he has Godfather. What happened? During this political whatever, he was caught. There were crises between both factions, and he was murdered at very close to Baptist Academy here. J-Paul, what is his name? This guy in Bariga. And how did that guy get out? Somebody that you declared wanted, somebody that at least you had evidence that this guy has committed this murder, the guy was left off the hook. Again, you blame the judiciary again. Because in the first place, police will tell you that if we arrest criminal, we take that ours is not to carry, ours is not to prosecute, ours is just to take them to the court arrest and take to the court. When they not get to the court now, the court will not grant them. The court will not grant them bail. Why would you grant an armed robber? Why would you grant somebody that has committed murder? And you thought that person will come back to the society and he will not do worse. So we have a whole lot of issues that needs to be looked at. Need to look at. Our prosecution for high caliber crimes should be stepped up. And in doing that again, we must secure our various community. If we secure our various community, this issue of whatever banditry will stop. You see, it cannot stop 100%, but drastically it will reduce. There was this time at garage in Ikorodu, the Onya boys, they will always be there from 4. They are always even there overnight. They are always there 24 hours. All of a sudden, they complain that they are not receiving enough support from the state, from the local government, from the community, and they withdrew. Now, as I talk to you, you cannot walk freely from Ikorodu Garage to Haruno that you will not be attacked. Starting from 8 o'clock in the evening, you cannot. And these are the boys that can easily be. Look, the moment you get them like this, you find out that they are not in, just because what is making them high is that cutlass or local guns they are carrying. So we can solve the security problem ourselves. We don't have to wait for Buhari. And I've always said that, you see, again, the president does not have a good media team. If he has a good media team, most of the things that we keep pushing to the president again, they are the things that could be solved by the local government and the state. But every issues we push it to the federal government. Security issue we push it to the federal government. No work we push it to the federal government. No, the state have responsibility. If we tell you, if they come up now, say, okay, Benue State, you receive so amount on security vote. What have you been doing in security vote? You will be shocked to the magnitude of amount they receive as security vote.
Perhaps the people have a role to play by calling them to account.
You see, the moment they are there, they're not more answerable to the people. the only time they will be answerable again to the people is when they are seeking for re-election. All these politicians, they will do anything to get your vote, but the moment they are there, they will shut the door. You can't see them. You can't see them.
Can the people push? Do they understand? Do the people even understand that they have a role to play?
You see, where there is poverty, you have a little role to play. Poverty has taken so much of our psyche that we probably see the politicians as gods. Of course, it will be very difficult for any politician to walk to me and say he wants to give me a bag of rice. It will be very difficult. You can't dare that. But again, when the people are so, the majority of the people that follows them blindly, they're the people that are poor, they're the people that you will give bread. You will see during the election they will do bread and put their label in the bread, macaroni, what sort of this thing, give to the people. And when
so
they give all this,
because of that,
these people cannot ask questions because they are. You see, if you are very poor, you are poor in mind, you are poor, you are poor physically, you are poor everything. There is no way you will ask for your rights. The few people that will ask for their rights, they are even the people that does not go out to vote. The people, probably I want to ask Jason, did you vote at the last election?
Well, I did not.
You see, that's number one. I voted. I ensured that all my household, they voted. And what I did not do is that I didn't influence their decision, but I campaigned for Buhari. I said, please go and vote for Buhari, go and vote for Jide. And then some of them said yes, some of them said no. I didn't force it.
Let's get Sheson's perspective to people holding government to account. Not that they know. Shouldn't they start asking questions and holding their governors to account?
Do they know? That's the question. An average Nigerian is so impoverished, and this politician understand a language. And the language is, give them what they want and have your way for the next 4 years. Have you heard of any situation where we made move of possibly recalling back the people we voted in?
There was a move at some point.
Has any of such seen the light of the day?
The process is quite cumbersome.
So who makes the process cumbersome? This same set of politicians. So that when you start the journey, by the time you get to a place, you get tired. And some of this thing is just mere words of mouth. It costs money. So where do you get the funding from? The little money that you are trying to survive yourself with is what you want to invest in recalling. That's what we said. The laws that we have are so draconian in such a way that it must be reviewed. That the process of recalling your leader, fine. It might be that at the point when you are seeking our vote, we see you as a very good person. But now you have the power and you decide to use the power of but we are not getting value for it. There should be a process that will be very seamless in such a way that we can recall you. But the process is so tedious, so expensive, that if you ventured into it, you will blame yourself. And that's why the politicians are taking advantage of us, even when we know. Let's leave the people that are very poor, that you say you give bread and all those things to. Even the learned people, when some of us make the move, there are threats to life. When some of these things happen, you feel you know it all, you feel you want to say something, and what will you do?
You don't get the support.
You know, people will tell you, let's leave them. 4 years is close by. It may not have its way. And 3.5 years, the guy will repent and come and say, well, I know I have sinned, my people. These are things that, and he will woo them again, and the same person will go for re-election. And you will not just be at the fate of yourself. So, for people saying that they know, fine, some people know, but the process of recalling some of those people when we discover that they have failed is cumbersome, and that must actually be checked if we must move forward. They are not doing in fact, go and look at it. Those are the Senate, those are their, how many constituency projects are they doing? Zero. We are not feeling the impact, but you dare not make any move to recall those people because you don't have the wherewithal to ask them. It's not a matter of you saying you want to put people together. By the time you put those people together, what you need to, because the language everybody and every Nigerian here is what is on the table for me. And once you are unable to put those things on the table, the politician have it.
So they are also complicit.
Quickly, let me interject.
We need to wrap up.
Sheson, in the first place, in a same country, are there supposed to be constituency projects?
Right.
Those constituency projects they are talking about, they are local government projects. They're not supposed to be.
But we gave the room for it.
We did not give room. The constitution, they form a doctrine of necessity to bring that in. It is not in the constitution that they should.
But we allowed it, and nobody's challenging it.
No, we did not allow it.
No, it's not. We allowed it.
They brought it in, and again, there is no way we will challenge these people.
We have to leave the conversation here now.
The issue is, God will just help this nation.
Amen.
Let's help ourselves. It's not God. We keep calling God.
Thank
Let's
you.
help ourselves.
Thank you so much for your time on the program.